What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister,
Daphne.
Daphne, and my brother, Derek.
Derek.
And this week, you guys, we're going to be talking about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And before we get to talking about a movie that is sad because the actor have died, we have more sad news because another actor has passed away recently here, and that's Kevin Conroy,
Yeah.
which is the voice actor for Batman in pretty much everything Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you grew up in the 90s watching the Batman animated series, which we did a show on recently,
Yes. We
Yes.
then yeah, then you know Kevin Conroy.
Did.
So
Yeah.
it's sad to see such a iconic
His voice is
actor
iconic.
pass.
It's like
Yes.
every time I read a comic, I hear it in that voice.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what Batman
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
And now every time there's someone that's not him doing the voice of Batman,
It is very noticeable.
bad.
it is
Is it?
it's not Batman. It's noticeable.
That's
I'll be
not
like, I
Batman.
don't like it. I hate it. Like, like that's how much he has resonated with that character and that
Yeah.
voice, and it's just kind of shocking just to read it on Friday. I think I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just
It
like,
was
what?
Friday.
I actually had to check two more sources just to make sure it was true. So,
I definitely Googled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And they said that when you think of Batman, it's Kevin Conroy, Adam West, Michael Keaton.
I would put Keaton above Adam West, but I'm not old, so
Okay.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, when I think of like Kevin Conroy is like Batman to me. That's what I want Batman to be.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, we'll go ahead and start our review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And we'll start spoiler free. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you can listen to the first few minutes of the podcast here and get our like slight opinions on it. And then, cut out, go see the movie, and then come back and listen to the spoiler free or the spoiler portion of the podcast.
Yeah.
So first I have to say very well written movie, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think very well written, especially considering the fact that they had to go back
Yeah, and rewrite
and
this movie.
rewrite
Yeah.
the movie. The movie was only delayed for about 6 months or so. So like watching it, I was wondering, like, I wonder what the original script was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have no idea because Ryan Coogler, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how he came up with this story based on
Yeah.
the passing of Chadwick Boseman, but he did an excellent job
Yeah.
with that.
I think well written, directed, and then the acting in this was just
Oh, dude. Now, I don't
Everybody.
say so many, like, a lot of people be like, oh, well, it's a superhero movie, so, it doesn't get, the awards.
Mhm.
But the actor that plays Shuri, she
Her?
acted.
Oh,
Ye-
Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright. Oh
yeah,
no, she was.
acted her behind.
And I have to
off.
say this. So if you go back and listen to our past podcast and we were discussing who should become Black Panther,
Mhm.
and I'd said it's probably going to be Shuri because that matches the comics.
Yes.
But I personally could not see Letitia Wright as Black Panther.
Yeah.
After this movie, I'm like, you know what? I apologize to Letitia Wright. Like she killed it. She killed it.
Like, I agree. In this movie, she is a different person than she was in the first movie in
Yeah.
the best way possible. Like, she absolutely, like, you feel her grief, like her process of getting over T'Challa's death and like her becoming Black Panther and all of that. That is like, you see that, like, she acted her butt off in this movie.
Yeah.
And
Along with everyone else.
everyone else, but dude,
Yeah.
Angela Bassett, I know she's amazing in
Oh,
everything,
she's amazing
Angela
in everything.
but I mean, like,
Icon.
I
Queen,
was
an
just-
actual queen.
Yes.
I was just
Yes.
like, I feel like she threw her whole self into this role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can feel it through everyone, even the actress that played Riri Williams,
Dominique,
who I
somebody. Her first name is Dominique.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, I forget her last name. I'm sorry. We'll know it. You're in Marvel, so we will know her name. But like even her, like, because had no interest in Ironheart
I didn't either.
at all. But I would say like she did a good job in the role that she had in this movie.
Yeah,
you
she
know?
did. I was thinking like, man, because like you, I was just like, I don't need this person in my life. But it's just sitting there. I was thinking like, well, I don't know what she's like in the comics, but I like her in this movie.
Yeah.
I like her
They
character.
said her portrayal was spot on with the character.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Now, I will say is I don't know if she needed to be in this movie.
She really
It
didn't.
didn't have to be Ironheart, but they did make use of her character.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I would say is she was introduced well. She didn't feel out of place, but just in general, we did not need Ironheart in this movie.
No, yeah, it could have been anyone.
Right.
Yeah, like I enjoyed her in it, but we did not need her, and it's clearly just so we can introduce her character for later stuff.
Yeah. And I felt like that was done in a good way because it reminded me of vibes of like, Black Panther when he got introduced in Civil War. Natasha when she got introduced in Iron Man 2. It's just like it didn't feel over the top. It didn't feel like
Mockingbird in Iron Man 2, right?
Yeah.
I would have been fine with that, but still, I think.
But it's like it didn't feel over the top and it didn't feel forced.
True.
Whereas some of the shows in this phase, character introductions has felt forced because it's like, oh, because we're doing a show on this character, this is why he's here.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's the difference. Like, it didn't feel forced. Did we need it? No. But it wasn't forced, and you will enjoy her.
Speaking of that, I won't mention in the spoiler-free section, but there was a character who we've seen before that was in this movie. Did not know they were going to be in this movie.
True.
And they weren't forced in.
No, but that was another thing of we didn't need it.
No.
And I felt like that part of the movie, because there was a whole CIA government section of the movie.
Yeah.
It was like watching a different movie.
Yeah,
it was.
But you can tell like it's preparing us for something else.
But see, I kind of hate that. Like, I feel like that part of the movie was Marvel telling Ryan Coogler, "Hey, we need you to do this."
Yeah,
and it's the same thing with Riri Williams. It's like, why I enjoyed those scenes and I liked it a lot. And one, it felt a little incomplete for me because it's like, well, I was invested in this story.
Yeah.
That now you're not telling me. It was another thing that we didn't need because I feel like the movie is a little long.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have these, and it doesn't feel forced. Like, don't get me wrong, when you're watching a movie, you're going to enjoy it. It's not forced, but you will see those two things. It says we could have did without that in this movie.
Yeah, because honestly, as
she could have been just the person that invented the device.
Yeah. You didn't actually need her.
Yeah. And well, I was speaking of the other character.
I know what character you're talking of, but I was just saying that whole scenario itself.
Well, yeah. Well, like you were saying, there's a separate portion of this movie that, like, while watching it, I had no problem with it. But yeah, when I go back and I'm like the things I want to talk about with the movie, it's pretty much all Wakanda and and the Atlanteans or the Talokans. That is what they're called in this.
Yeah.
I would be calling them Atlanteans.
I still call them Atlanteans. It's they live in the water, and I actually have no problem with them calling it Talokan either.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So you have that the acting on point. Silence speaks volumes in this movie.
Yeah.
There were so many times where there was no music being played, and it kind of like just drew you into the scene that was happening. Like, oh man.
Yeah, very well placed.
Well, just in the first one, like, they dive all in with T'Challa's death.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, we're opening that's happening.
And I figured.
Yeah.
But I wasn't prepared on how they did it.
Yeah, they're all into that, and it hits you hard. And then when they're showing the Marvel logo and all of that, it's silent.
Man. Yeah.
And it's just like,
now that did hit because it was silent with the tribute to Chadwick Boseman, and I'm like, man,
yeah. So like that opening what is it, a credit or whatever you call that thing, opening logo was just
they
like,
could have ended the movie right there and be like,
greatest movie ever, man.
Greatest movie
That was the best.
Yeah.
That's the best 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was just like, that was a perfect way to open a movie.
Yeah. The action, I think, is great in this.
Oh, the action and fight scenes, great.
Yeah, I thought
I didn't feel like it was overly CGI. I didn't feel like it was.
There's only a couple of scenes of CGI that was noticeable, but
I mean,
overall, it was really. Good.
It didn't have that. What we joke about all the time.
End of Black Panther.
The ultimate CGI major battle of
it was close though.
Yeah,
it was close because you did have the ending battle between the Wakandas and the Atlanteans there.
Yeah.
Like I think we could have benefited more from that singular fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to in spoilers something more on that because I was more vested in a different part of the movie than that.
Okay. Part, but going back to visuals, I think they used the water things, like they had like water grenades. That was used very well. Just I thought all of the water scenes.
That was really good invention. Yeah. To have them use, I thought that was pretty dope.
I thought a lot of the water scenes
I was
were
just
pretty good.
Having water explode like that will concuss you.
Yeah. Yeah. I did like some of the underwater scenes. I thought they did the talking underwater better than Aquaman did.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to make some comparisons to Aquaman.
We're gonna have to compare
a lot.
Although
a whole lot better.
The only thing
makes me wish Marvel made Aquaman.
I will say is I do wish that their city looked and felt more like a city.
It didn't feel like a city.
Yeah, like it didn't seem like a place that people actually lived.
Yeah.
So that would be my one gripe about
Aquaman
the underwater.
Got better because Atlantis and Aquaman actually looked really good.
Yeah,
it did.
So yeah, I thought the visuals of them being underwater was cool. I liked the incorporation of using fish and whales and stuff was done very well. It made sense, but I thought the city visuals could have been better.
I get that.
Yeah. Spend the budget on Wakanda.
They clearly did because Wakanda looked a lot better than it did the first time. Yeah.
It looked great. Yeah. So you had that, like, man, there's so much in this movie. And I'm gonna say overall though, it's an emotional movie. Not only because you're dealing with the death of Chadwick Boseman, but there's so much more in there. And it's an emotional movie. Like that's kind of the driving force of this movie. But it was done well, done very well. A redeeming force for Phase 4 of Marvel.
Nothing redeems Phase 4. I mean, this is a good way to end Phase 4, but you're not redeeming that.
And we got to go with the fact is they're ending Phase 4
because it was so bad.
Because it was bad. And I did see where there was like the end of phases before this, we knew it. Because it was just like, okay.
Well, it ended with an Avengers movie. Well, there was usually a movie afterwards, but the Avengers movie capped the phase.
It capped it and it led you to the direction that it was leading to.
Yeah.
So even though this is the end of Phase 4, we still don't have no directions. You just ended it with a good movie.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, so they put the Infinity Stones throughout the entirety of the first 3 phases. But at the end of Age of Ultron, it really turned its head like, okay, these next movies are about the Infinity Stones. Right? Like, this is where we're heading because that's where the end of Ultron
see, in the end of Avengers, you knew, like, okay, Loki is not the main play.
Yeah.
It's someone behind Loki that's controlling these things.
So, yeah, in that sense, this movie doesn't really make a sense as the end of the phase because
it doesn't do anything.
It's detached from everything else.
It is.
Which isn't a problem.
No. It's no problem to the movie, but for the overarching of this phase with the MCU,
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It does nothing for Phase 4.
It does.
I mean,
Nothing.
it introduced other Disney
any
Plus
movie
shows
besides Spider-Man and probably Doctor Strange, did any movie do anything for Phase 4?
No. That's why Phase 4 sucks. What's that? And the movies are bad.
Because, well, like Shang-Chi, because the rings obviously have something to do with
yeah, but we didn't hear anything else about that.
True.
Right.
We haven't.
Yeah. We still haven't heard nothing about the Eternals.
Well, hopefully we don't.
I'm still trying to understand.
Hear anything about them
there's
again.
a head and a hand sticking out of the earth.
Let's forget that. Well, it just don't.
It didn't happen.
I'm just saying, like, that's glaringly obvious.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that movie existed.
Well, trying to forget it.
Yeah. So, man, dude, what else did we talk about without spoiling this movie?
Well, I guess
we covered.
We covered most of the stuff. In general, I guess we could say is, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's worth the watch.
Definitely worth the watch. This is a top tier Marvel movie.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I think I mentioned my faults with the movie. It's not a whole ton. Definitely not enough to say like, oh my gosh. And I'm really strict on my movies.
She is.
Yeah.
So
I would say this. I would see this movie again. Like, pay to see this.
If you're not a Marvel fan, I personally think this movie is better than the first Black Panther. That in my opinion, I think it is better.
Close. I say it's close.
I think it's more enjoyable than the first, and I like the first Black Panther.
You got a good argument there. I say it's close, but I don't know.
Wow.
But when we do our re-rankings, I forget what's in our top 5. But I would say
we're gonna have to redo the entire list.
Yeah, this is definitely top 10, but it might be top 5.
This is not top 5.
But I will have to look,
because I would put this after the first one.
I would too.
The first one.
I would put this after the first one.
I would
yes.
too.
All right, I'll have to see. Or maybe I'll rewatch both of them again.
I will say this: this made me want to watch the first one.
It definitely did. It definitely
did. I just didn't have time to do it.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched the first one.
Yeah, but it made me want to rewatch the first one.
I would say it's at least on par with the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's not a huge drop off.
No,
I would say it's very minimal.
Yeah. So like if you only, because a lot of people only went to see the Black Panther movie, see the sequel.
Yeah.
yeah. If you're not a comic book movie person, you won't be lost.
No, you won't.
It's
all the characters are the same characters.
Yeah.
Same characters.
The only new characters were introduced in this one, so that can be. So even if you're like, who the heck is Namor? That's fine. They tell you enough to figure it out. Yeah, you'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So from this point on, spoilers for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. If you haven't seen it, don't listen to this part. Sometimes we say it doesn't matter. I would say don't. And enjoy the movie for yourself.
Enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So come back later after you've seen Black Panther and let us know what your thoughts were on it. Mm-hmm. But okay, I guess we'll start with what we were talking about with the opening scene. So we open up and T'Challa's dying.
Yeah, he has a unknown sickness. Shuri's trying to save him.
Cancer.
Just no, stop.
They said unknown. They didn't use.
They said it was unknown.
Okay.
And so she's trying to save him, but despite all the things she's doing,
it's not working.
It's not working.
Trying to reprint the heart
shape herb.
Yeah. In order to save him, since they were all burned by Killmonger.
Yeah.
But
the best she could do at the time was 29%.
Yeah. So not enough.
Yeah. And
she couldn't figure it out, and she ran out of time.
I don't even know if that would have worked because he was already.
It wouldn't have worked.
Maybe, but I mean, you get like you're gonna try something, right? You're gonna try everything.
She
you
just
think
wanted
of.
to try anything instead of nothing at all.
Yeah, and so part of her struggles in the early movie is that like she failed to save her brother.
Yeah.
So it's not only that he died, but she couldn't save him.
Yeah.
She could do all of these things, but she couldn't do the one thing she really wanted to do.
Yeah. And then from that point on, like we mentioned the acting, you can feel.
Yeah.
I mean, in that scene with Letitia Wright and Angela Bassett, I mean, honestly, we always say I don't think it was acting. This was real emotion.
I felt like it too.
Put out on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like that too.
Yeah.
And
because it's like when you think of these movies, like these actors form a bond with each other.
Yeah.
Because they spend so much time together. When it's something overarching with this Marvel universe, you know, they spend a lot of time together. So it was just like they had an actual real relationship with Chadwick. So it's like, you know, this was a way for it to be portrayed outwardly.
Yeah, especially when you have an actor like Chadwick Boseman, who seemingly, I don't know him, but from what everyone said, it's like the nicest person in the world. So,
right, like, yeah. So these are people that were actual friends. They work together, so it's not hard to think that these emotions are real.
Yeah,
because they lost a real friend.
Yeah. Yep.
So we move on a year later. And we get an interesting plot. So the UN is trying to get at Wakanda for not trading vibranium.
Right. Yeah. And and what I like about this is that, like, a lot of people thought Black Panther is gone, Wakanda is weak now.
Yep.
And Angela Bassett's like, I'm the queen. I'm protecting my nation. I know exactly what you guys want to do, right? You get your hands on vibranium, you're going to create weapons because that's what you do.
Yeah, she had an excellent line in that. And she has so many powerful moments in this movie.
Yeah.
This was one of them, but she had an excellent line was, we don't trade vibranium, not because it's dangerous, but because you are. And how, like, true that is. It's like, all these countries are going after them, and it's just because you want to make your own weapons out of vibranium.
Yeah, because they was like, oh, well, it can't be detected in our metal detectors, and it can be as strong as a nuclear bomb, and it's just like, yeah, but if this was an issue, it would have been done already.
Exactly.
Because you're just now finding out about it.
Exactly. Like, if we wanted to fight you and blow you up, we would have. Think about it. Wakanda separated themselves from the rest of the world for this very reason. Like, we got this resource, we gonna build ourselves up. We don't want no parts of y'all.
Yeah.
And hey, I know there's gonna be people out there that disagree with me, but like, just because they have access to this resource that can be dangerous, just because it can be dangerous doesn't give the rest of the world right to claim ownership over some of it.
Right.
Like, it's theirs. It's on their land. They have it.
Yeah. Like, you can't get to it unless you go through us, and we're saying no.
And they have no obligation.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. You are going to make weapons with it. Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what S.H.I.E.L.D. did with the Tesseract.
Soon as you got it, the first thing you did was make a weapon.
Yep.
So, yeah, and that's exactly what they would do.
Yeah.
So this causes basically the overarching issue of the movie. So now everyone else is trying to find vibranium somewhere else on the planet because, hey, we need this resource, of course, so we can make weapons of mass destruction. So while looking for it, they actually find some in the ocean, which triggers the Atlanteans.
Yes.
Because it belongs to them.
Right. So they come in, wipe out the entire ship. Now,
which was an interesting scene. Actually, that introduction to the Atlanteans in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, that was pretty dope. First with the siren song.
Which is that a thing that they do?
I didn't know.
I was like, did they just make this up? That's not a thing they do.
That for the movie.
Yeah, okay. I was like, where did this come from? Yeah. But yeah, I thought that scene was pretty good. Yeah. Just, what was I about to say? I forgot. Come back to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just saying, good introduction to the Atlanteans. It's an overreaction, I think, from the Atlanteans.
Yes.
Definitely.
I think that leads to
technically they sunk the ship and killed everybody because they found vibranium.
Exactly. Like, they didn't even do anything yet. That's the part that's what I want to get to. Yeah. One, I know it's gonna sound crazy. I do kind of like how they just have no problem just killing a bunch of people. Like, this whole movie, I was just like, how many people died in this movie?
A lot.
Just an awful lot. But that goes back to my one point. One of my dislikes, not gonna say dislike, flaws about Namor. I feel like everything seemed to be an overreaction. And I know
but that's how
I was gonna say that fits his character.
Yes, but wait.
Okay.
So he has very similar notes to what Killmonger was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get his origin, which I feel like you could have saved that for his movie. We get his origin, right? His people was forced because smallpox, they take vibranium basically, and it forces them to live in the water because they can't live on the surface no more. Fine with that.
Yeah, because they drunk it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we'll go into more detail.
So he comes back, he sees what the Spanish conquerors are doing. That makes him mad. So now he's like, I vow to, hate the surface world. And I felt like, I feel you.
But I saw what
one incident.
Exactly.
Group of people.
So I just feel like that to me was an overreaction. Like, I think it would have benefited if they mentioned how in the comics how their city was being destroyed by pollution and bombs and stuff like that, and they were forced to interact.
Yeah, I don't know how much they can do that now because now Atlantis is so deep in the ocean.
Yeah, but we still got pollution. We're destroying the ocean. Yeah. Those are facts. Yeah. So but I think we needed some of that.
I get that, but it's like I also like where they went with it, where he was just like, I don't even want them getting close.
Yeah, but it's still, that was a major overreaction.
Oh, it was
everything was just a major overreaction.
Namor overreacts.
I get that his character.
I didn't have a problem because that's in the comics, Namor would be like, "Oh, you've done this. I'm going to."
But I think it would have made
country like.
I think it would have made more sense if it was, "Hey, your oil spilled, killed my people," or something. You know, I think that would have helped.
They didn't go that route though because Aquaman won.
Yeah, but this is better than Aquaman.
Yeah. They changed a lot, and I think because of Aquaman,
I think so too.
And also, how many times have we done the ocean disaster makes?
But this is who he is, though. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, the story has been told, but if that is the story, and if you do it better than it was before, does it matter?
I mean, I'm always for if it can be told another way. And it's fine. I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with the other way. I think it needed that little extra.
I think when we talk about Namor, it doesn't really matter what his motivation is because he's just going to be on some stuff.
True.
No matter what it is.
True.
So, because Namor's character, if you need to understand anything going into this movie, it's always 100% about Atlantis.
Yeah.
Whatever he does, it's for Atlantis, about Atlantis, and he cares not about anyone else on the planet. So that's him. So we get the introduction, and then talk about overreactions. The Americans also, I think, are overreacting because they got attacked when they found vibranium. They're like, it's the Wakandans. I'm like,
yeah, are we not gonna
zero proof that it was Wakandans?
Yeah, look, we're not gonna do no investigation, no research, no nothing. But then that goes to my other mini nitpick about this movie. So I brought up in before that this feels like a movie within a movie. This was that second movie.
Yeah, with the Americans.
Yeah. And I've kind of felt like, oh, hey, this is the spy movie y'all guys been promising us.
True.
But it kept saying like the Americans were going to attack. I kept waiting for the Americans to show up. I mean, not that we needed it.
That would have made the movie longer.
No, we didn't need it. It would have
undercut the story.
No, I'm not saying we didn't need it, but it kept saying like you set something up that didn't happen. And I was just like, is this going to happen in Black Panther 3 now, or do I gotta wait another 5 years for the story to conclude?
Because how America can't fight Wakanda.
I'm just saying. I was just thinking like, so when do I get the conclusion to this movie?
I don't know.
Right, since you shot 2 movies.
In the Thunderbolts, if they want to do that, because Bucky's gonna be on the Wakandan side. So
yeah,
I just felt like, oh, okay, so we just didn't end the second movie you introduced to me.
Yeah. Well.
Because I was like, do I gotta wait another 5 years for the conclusion? Is that Black Panther 3?
Are they gonna conclude it or just drop it? They might just drop it.
Just pretend like it didn't happen. Don't do that.
No, it's gonna be in something else.
You gotta finish the storyline.
It's gonna be in something else.
Yeah, I don't like that they're like the president wants to do a full hour attack on Wakanda, and I'm like, but we're deciding all of this, and you have zero proof. I know they found the beads on the bridge or whatever, but that's not proof that Wakanda.
But in real life, they don't need proof.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I will say, is that really that far fetched? And then I was thinking, like, they were in Boston, right? Yeah, MIT.
Yeah.
That bridge ain't got no cameras. Just no surveillance, no security. So then you would see the blue people hopping out the river.
Yeah.
Or wherever.
And attacking
ocean. I'm not sure what kind of body of water that was. I'm guessing ocean.
Also, why did
But
they
if we
come
get to that
and
part, we have
arrest-
to introduce on why Riri Williams was...
Okay, all right. So she made the vibranium sensing device.
Yes. And which was used on the Americans to find vibranium,
in the
which
ocean.
caused
Yeah.
the Atlanteans to attack them.
So, so now Atlantis wants to kill Riri because she made a vibranium sensing device. Also, an overreaction.
Very
Namor.
overreaction.
Like, the scientists made a way to find vibranium. Kill her. Why?
Well, all of it. And then he's like, if you don't help me kill her, I'm going to kill you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
like
Namor,
bro. Do your own research. Go find her yourself. Why are you coming to me talking about I want you to find this person for me?
Well, he said it's their fault for again being mad at,
because they revealed themselves to the rest of the world.
Here's the jump in logic.
Well, they revealed vibranium to the rest of the world.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the jump in logic that Namor is taking, and again, it's not a gripe for me because I agree with the characterization of Namor, but bro, so no one knows you exist. Wakandans literally think they're the only people with vibranium. So you're mad at Wakanda for saying, hey, there's vibranium out there. And you're like, now they're going to find us. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Yeah.
You know?
If you don't come out the water, we don't know who you are.
Exactly.
Still.
No one knows who you are, right? You're at like the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
They could have just taken that vibranium and went about their day.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they would eventually have.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah,
after
but
all
then
the
at that point,
digging
defend your city. Like what you revealed yourself now doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But all that happened.
Well, the rest of the world still do not know them.
Yeah,
actually, no one knows.
No one knows about that. Like, but Wakanda.
Yeah, but still, but anyways, all that happened simply because they needed to introduce Riri Williams in this movie for some reason.
Yeah. So, and they're like, it's so many. This is the second overreaction by him, but not the last.
Yeah.
So, but we go to Riri Williams now because there's while everyone's still mourning, Namor pops up in Wakanda and has that conversation we were talking about, like, hey, you know, it's your fault. Go find a scientist. I guess. Which actually, man, that was a good scene too.
It was.
That was a good scene. The introduction of Namor.
Yeah.
He just shows up.
It's like my enemies call me Namor.
I'm like, okay.
So they changed it from being Roman backwards to being Spanish for no love, which I think is creative.
Yeah.
Because I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, that was very creative.
It was creative.
Yeah. Or Cuckoo Khan.
We didn't talk about him, but I think we needed him more in this movie.
Winston Duke or M'Baku. M'Baku took on.
He did really
good role.
Very good.
He was basically the words of wisdom to Shuri.
But needed more.
Yeah.
But then I mean, there's so much happening in this movie.
Yeah.
Where I think we could have cut out some things to give us more him. Saying.
Yeah.
The Fishman.
So, all right. So we find Riri Williams and Okoye and Shuri go in the worst undercover outfits ever to pick up.
Because Shuri was dressed like it was 1993.
Yeah, I'm like,
not winning, and I was like, "What is this outfit that you're wearing?"
I was like, "Is this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Martin right now?"
She's wearing like a red leather suit and a blazer.
She could pull it off. You know,
I mean,
but it was still
fly, but you're out of place.
I mean, it might have been cool if you was at the, I don't know, at the club getting some drinks or something. But
she looked like she's supposed to be going to a gala or something somewhere.
I'm like, what are
one
you
of those
wearing?
ones where you see them like in just crazy outfits,
like the fashion show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she got it, but you don't blend in at all.
No,
they did not blend in.
Yeah. So, which is apparently how the police found him. I'm gonna say.
How did the police find them?
I don't know.
It didn't make any sense.
Also, why were you trying to arrest them?
Exactly.
Is it illegal for them to be on U.S. soil?
Nope.
No.
Also, didn't make.
Was
it
illegal for them to talk to Riri Williams?
Nope.
No.
So I was confused with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like who
sense.
tipped them off about Riri Williams?
Yeah, and then why are you trying to arrest them?
Yeah.
It must be the purple hair girl, right? But then why?
Fontaine.
What would be the point?
She wouldn't know either.
Yeah, I don't know why she.
Because the whole thing is because Namor brought it.
Yeah, that it just didn't make any sense. Like, I mean, the whole scene and stuff, that was cool.
Yeah,
but
and would they be keeping an eye on Riri Williams? She wasn't hired by the CIA.
No.
She made something,
right,
and the CIA
and the
took
unit,
it.
right.
So
the professor probably sold it
to them.
Yeah.
So she has no idea about this, which
right.
is after Namor finds that out, maybe don't try to kill her, Namor.
Right.
Okay,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Yep.
Like as if the CIA can't reverse engineer. All right, never mind. Yeah, so I don't know why they would go after her. But they did.
Yeah, it's just a thing that happened in the movie.
Yeah, but we do find out a lot about Riri Williams. First, funny scene in the dorm room with Riri.
Throwing the wireless speaker.
No, was that one of them speakers that come into two magnetic pieces, or did it get cut in half?
That speaker got cut in half.
Okay, all right.
I
was like, it was one of those, ad breaking. And I have this speaker. You can split it into two.
One of them 2:00 in the morning infomercials.
Yeah. So this was funny. I don't know. So they're trying to convince her to go with him. And so she takes him back to her little hideout that she has. Where she's working on a very crappy Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
I didn't like her new Iron Man suit, to be honest.
I didn't either.
That's how it looks, though.
Okay,
is
well,
it really?
Is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
no.
well,
Riri Williams' first Iron Man suit in the comics looked like an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
That, yes.
This one didn't look good.
The second one didn't look like this one.
Yeah. So I hope they improve that the next time we see her.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't look too much better.
Yeah, that's her current.
Yeah, but that looks better than what it looked like in the movie. I just don't think it looked good at all.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, no, yeah, I didn't really like it either. But this one was a pseudo one. I like how they did Riri, because she's obviously a genius, right? But it wasn't like she could just do everything. Like she mentioned, the Iron Man suit. Oh, I've been working on this pretty much my entire life. And they mentioned the vibranium detector.
She's been working on that for months.
It took her months to come up with it. So it's not just a...
Really? She did discover time travel in a week.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Overnight.
I thought about that with Tony Stark. Everybody complained like he just figured out time travel. And I was like, well... Since movie one, he just figured out everything. He just figured out a miniaturized arc reactor. He just figured out how to synthesize an element.
And I bring it up every time it happens.
Yeah. But it's within character, so.
Still equally ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they go on this chase, and then the Atlanteans come. And then we get this killer fight scene between Okoye and the Atlanteans. Because Shuri's knocked out, and so is Riri.
Yeah. Atuma.
Yeah. Yeah, Okoye was doing her thing, though.
She was.
Yeah. And this was one of those scenes where I was talking about, like, silence speaks volumes. Because that fight between her and Atuma, there was no music or anything. It was just the fight.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah. I just like the cockiness. He was just like, you're not even worthy of my blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got beat.
No, she did. I mean, but she was
when he separated her shoulder when he ran her into the spear. Man, it was like when he did it, everybody in the theater was like, "Ooh."
Actually, yeah.
Were y'all in the theater with people who talk? I was in the theater with people who talk.
No, our theater was silent.
Oh no, I mean
like you felt it. Like at the end of the movie, everybody's like, you know how it's not the same feeling, but at the end of Infinity War, when like everybody's just like
what just happened?
Yeah, what just happened?
Yeah, it was silent, but not like a bad.
Okay, no, I mean like talking in a good way. So fast forward some. Angela Bassett dies. Sorry, guys. So, anyways,
man, we didn't even get to it, but yeah,
whatever. She dies. So I'm in the theater and someone was like, "Oh no, they didn't." I know they're not about to. They're like, "I know you're gonna revive her," and I was like, "Why are you people talking?"
No, I think she's permadead.
No, she's permadead. But like during that scene, it was like, and it was scenes like that where people were just like,
Yeah.
They're like, "Come on now." I was like, "Okay, well," I'm like, "I don't think she's coming back."
Yeah. So that fight scene, she gets knocked into the water, and they go to kill Riri, but Shuri stops them and said, "Take me to Namor. I am the princess of Wakanda. Let me have a word with him." And so since she was royalty, they allowed it to happen. But honestly,
that's dumb.
It don't I like honestly, if you're there to kill the scientists and you stop at nothing in a way,
it doesn't benefit you
because
at all.
He already was willing to go to war with them anyway. So killing her would have started a war. He was already prepared to do that.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No, you didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it did lead up to like his origin story and
all right. So here's we get the origin of the Atlanteans because he tells it to Shuri as he's showing her Atlantis. So I actually like the change. In the comics, it's the exact same as Aquaman.
The exact
with an Atlantean mother and a sea captain. And at first I thought they had swapped it like it was an Atlantean father because it was like, oh, your mother is human. And I'm like, oh, they swapped it around.
Yeah.
But it's completely different.
Yeah.
But even though they changed it completely, I like the explanation. So it was they got smallpox, this is 1600s.
Yeah. 15s.
16th century. So 1500s.
Yeah.
16th century.
So they had no way of curing it. And oddly enough, just like the Wakandans, someone got a vision. Man, they be high on something because everybody gets a vision. So he finds another plant that was infused with the vibranium. And they take it. She was already pregnant with Namor at the time, which is why he's kind of a mixture. He was already being born, and then he got the kind of hit of the change. They changed.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
I did like the take on though, like of the culture.
Yeah.
And I feel like it fits for the Black Panther movie because it's like you have African culture and then it's like now you introducing this Mayan culture. So I felt like that was good. I mean, I know Daphne you had it where it was like if they kept the origin the same. But
no, I'm not the origin. I'm fine with these changes. I think we did need that extra. You guys destroyed our
Okay.
Yeah. She's saying destroyed, like them doing something.
Right. To me, his motivations makes more sense
with the original story. Okay.
If you have that extra, you know what I mean, in there, because it's like it has like the hints
them stumbling across.
And like destroying his city and the pollution and blah blah. Because it has hints of like Killmonger, but Killmonger to me feels more real because that's the life he lives.
Yeah, Namor didn't actually feel any of
Exactly.
that. Like Killmonger's going from his father was killed when he was a kid, and then growing up around different things made him bitter and made him feel this way. Namor saw it,
yeah,
killed everybody and left.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is that I feel like it needed that extra layer.
I feel you. I see where you're coming from there.
Yeah.
Because he didn't continue on protecting those people.
Exactly.
No.
He left.
Yeah.
So, slavery still happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Spanish still conquered. So.
Yeah, so he killed those few people and then just left.
So, all right. So I understand more where you're coming from. But yeah, the take on the culture and everything, and even keeping it to the point of like when he was showing her the city, like the things that they were doing around with the city, like taking that from the ancient culture of Mayans. Like I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. And basically the plant mutated them, so like they couldn't breathe air. That's why they went into the water.
Yeah.
And so
because the plant was in the water infused with vibranium.
Yeah. So it made it where they can no longer live on the surface.
Yeah. So interesting origin actually. I thought that was interesting. I was all for it.
Yeah. Because I mean, honestly, in the comic books, it really don't. It's just like they migrated to the ocean, but it's just like, okay, how were they all of a sudden able to breathe in the ocean? You don't explain that.
Yeah. Yeah, they always say migrated.
It was like they migrated to the ocean.
Live in the ocean.
Right.
Okay? All right, we can't adapt lungs that are gonna breathe in underwater fast enough.
Yeah, they never give a logical. Even though I mean,
it's comic books, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. This made more sense. So we're gonna get to their escape, but first we have to go back to Wakanda because this is another one of Angela Bassett's like powerful scenes.
Oh yeah.
So, and this was in the trailer too, but without the context, it's not as powerful.
Well, in the trailer, they reversed the audio. Yeah. That audio from there when she was talking to Okoye, they played that when she was at the UN.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So here now, so she's mad at Okoye, and at first everyone's like, "Oh, don't be too hard," but I see her point. She did tell Okoye not to take Shuri.
Yes.
She did. She said, I didn't want to lose my daughter too. And then she did because Okoye lost her daughter. Now, did she overreact? I mean, I certainly understand it, right? Because she's thinking, you got my kid killed.
Yeah.
Now my whole family's gone.
Because when I talked to this dude, there was no pleading with him. He said, bring the scientist to me and I'm going to kill her. And if you do not,
I will kill you.
I will kill you.
Yeah. So I certainly understand. Like, yo, you decided to do this. You failed. You're not my general anymore.
Oh, and then the built up about, oh, you sided with Killmonger.
Yeah.
And I had to go to M'Baku for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, you bringing up all the dirt, huh?
Oh, she's right. But I thought what made it really powerful is because, she stripped Okoye of her rank. And then Okoye was like, I've given everything. And then basically to summarize the speech is like, oh, you've given everything?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I lost my husband, my son, and now my daughter.
Yeah.
All this stuff has happened. Have I not given everything?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I was like, she threw that back at you?
Yeah. Because she was just like, because the one guy was like, hey, she even defended the country against her husband. But he was like, but isn't he somewhere where she can see him anytime she wants to if she wanted to?
Yeah. Is there a reason why he wasn't in this movie?
Because he's a prisoner.
Oh, he is?
No,
not in real life.
Oh, I'm like, what?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was just in the movie Nope.
Right. I was like, what? When did that happen? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's in prison. The character is in prison.
Oh, okay.
Because of the treason.
Oh, okay.
Of siding with Killmonger.
Got it. Understood.
Which technically is not true. Well, it was by the end of the movie. That was treason because T'Challa wasn't dead. So okay.
Okay.
Fair enough, I guess.
Very powerful.
Yeah. Great scene. All right, so Angela Bassett, we really should refer to her by her Wakanda name. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Ramonda,
yes.
Okay.
Queen Ramonda.
Yeah.
So she sends Nakia. Got it.
Which is in Haiti.
Yeah, she sends Nakia to go rescue Shuri. And Nakia does in excellent spy fashion.
So we're not going to have a nitpick section tonight, but I'm going to nitpick this, though.
Okay.
There's no guards.
I guess not.
No.
Okay, fine. I get you. She's tracking her beads or whatever that's on her earrings or whatever. But she managed to swim through that entire ocean and that entire city. Look, I guess she a spy.
Yeah. But they weren't in, they were like on the outskirts of the city.
Still.
But this is where you're holding the
You're holding your prisoners.
Yeah.
One that you just want to kill, which you haven't killed yet for some reason.
Because you're in, if you're making good graces with Shuri, now I agree that you don't have to, but since they decided to, you don't kill her.
Whatever. If I plan on murdering you, I'm about to murder. But then there's no guards on the outside. It was just like the two girls. Like, what is happening?
That was taking care of them.
Yeah.
Just, it's like you wanted her to be free. But whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
That.
So Nakia rescues Riri and Shuri and takes them back to Wakanda. Here is overreaction number 3 from Namor. Okay. Let's lay this out for you, Namor. You took the princess of a country, did not tell them, hey, she came here willingly, blah, 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 or let her contact Wakanda and let them know what's going on. So they, understandably, think you kidnapped their princess. So, you know, they're going to be on some Mario stuff and get their princess back, right? Is that, am I?
That's how that works.
Yeah. But in the process, 2 Atlanteans die. One Atlantean dies.
Yeah.
And Namor's like, oh, you've killed an Atlantean because I've kidnapped your princess. Let's gloss over that fact. So now I have the right to go kill some Wakanda civilians.
Yeah.
That's great.
But then, thing that doesn't make any sense. So he attacks Wakanda, right? They're getting mollywopped, as expected. I said last week that they were going to get mollywopped.
You did.
Yeah.
Ramonda dies, which sucked. I was like, for real, y'all?
Yeah.
We did not.
I was not
expecting
that.
I knew it was going to happen when he threw the spear at the glass.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
But even then, she was so dope. She like, this glass is bulletproof. No, that's not what she said. But that she was looking like, you won't faze me. But yeah, and he's like, that's cool. I'm just gonna drown you.
Yeah.
But what gets me is then he stops. And it's like, I'll be back 1 week today. Why?
Super villain.
Why?
Super villain, because he still wants to work with Wakanda. Why? To take over the world. Oh yeah. So we forgot. He explained to Shuri. We forgot. This is pivotal.
Yes.
He explained to Shuri that now that the Surface, who still don't know about them, by the way, now that they're inevitably going to find out about them, maybe not, honestly, they blame the Wakandans.
But
so, since they're going to find out about us, now we're going to wage war with the entire planet.
The entire planet.
But you don't need Wakanda for that. The world is 70% water.
That's true.
You don't need Wakanda's help.
He's using Wakanda as casualties.
But Wakanda is the strongest country. If you have them allied with you, you don't have to worry about fighting them.
Okay, so you don't want to make an enemy.
Yeah.
But then here's my... Would Wakanda... Well, I guess I don't know. They did fight Thanos, huh?
If you're waging war against the entire planet, one, they would see like, okay, he's going to come for us.
If T'Challa was in charge, for sure. But with his mama in charge, I don't No.
No, I think Ramonda is smart enough to know that, like, okay, they're not going to stop after they destroy everybody else. They're going to fight Wakanda too. Okay. So she probably will ally just on that fact.
Okay.
You know.
Still, they didn't need that 1 week time because you gave time for Shuri to be like, oh yeah, let me just make this heart shaped herb real quick. I've been failing at.
So before we go to all of that, powerful scene with Queen Ramonda. She's saving Riri Williams because they get just thrown in water, so she has to save her, and basically
she dies saving her.
She drowns saving Riri. Just noble. And I mean, hey, you know what? You got to give it to Namor with like his just energy, I guess. Yeah. Like with the queen dead there, standing like or flying in front of everybody else.
He's like, mourn your dead.
Mourn your dead. You are queen now. Deuces. Like, bro.
but right, just like, but that scene when Shuri's just like, you have to save her, and I was just thinking like, man, it'd be really great if you revived her right now.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna kill her.
Yeah, they straight up. I was like, dang.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, okay, she gonna come through. Right. She getting revived.
I'm like, yo, I don't even want Black Panther 3 now. What y'all doing to me?
So Shuri is upset.
Yep.
Understandably. I actually came out of this theater like, I fully understand Shuri. At this point, after that, I'm full on scorched earth.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah. And everyone else is like, your brother wouldn't do this, your mama would do this. I'm like, man, forget them. She was
like, I'm not my mother.
Yeah. Like, nah. I'm about to kill this little fish man.
Because she has to go through another funeral.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the scene with her and M'Baku.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do your heart That was good. My heart was buried with her. Like,
yeah.
Man, Letitia Wright killed.
Yeah.
She killed it, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Shuri, rightfully angry because her entire family is dead.
Yeah.
I like how, again, they really set this up in a way for people not to be super angry at the genius of the characters they have here, even though people still are going to be. But it made sense how she was able to recreate the heart-shaped herb. Like, she was working on it already. She was unable to do it, but now she got like fibers from the Atlantean plant that was infused with vibranium. So this is an actual living plant. Well, it's not alive anymore.
Well, it's a plant, so you can take that plant DNA.
Yeah.
Right? So now you can make your new plant.
Yeah, and it makes sense that would help her get to 100% on it, right?
But it wasn't 100%. It was 98.
98. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, that made, like, they really closed those loops around this movie. Yeah. Like, and they made sure everything made sense. The way the Atlanteans were created, the way she was able to recreate the heart-shaped herb. That's why I said it was excellent writing in this movie. They actually did cover all their bases. Yeah. And I thought that was great.
And so, when she recreated it, she took it.
Goes through ancestral plane.
She sees Killmonger.
Oh boy, that was a scene.
Yeah,
because of the hate and hurt that she dealt with. That's who she saw.
But what's crazy is that seeing him makes her feel abandoned by her own family.
Yeah,
because she didn't see them.
Yeah,
which is messed up.
Yeah,
which makes her more angry.
Yeah, and the way they said also part of the reason was because she didn't believe it.
Yeah.
And that's what he said to her. He was like, you didn't believe this place existed, did you?
Yeah.
And she lionly was like, yeah, I did. And he was like, so then why am I here?
Yep. Very good scene. Very good. Less than 5 minutes by Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he had some.
Yeah.
Everybody kills it in this movie.
Yeah.
But he's like, your father would have killed the scientist.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, he would have.
He would have. Riri would have been dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, because he was like, because he killed my uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, your uncle, my father.
Yeah, because everything, we recognize that T'Chaka, everything kind of similar to Namor in a way.
Yeah, nothing matters but Wakanda.
Protect the Wakandans at
all costs.
All costs.
Maybe not as crazy, but still. And then, you know, he mentioned that T'Challa.
Right. Well, the man that killed her father, he didn't kill.
Yeah, so he was saying she can't be like T'Challa.
Right.
Yeah. He's too noble.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you got Killmonger, which is on vengeance. And that is what Shuri is on.
Yes. So
she is on some
back.
vengeance.
Yeah.
So we went from Mario to John Wick now, okay? We had to save the princess. Now we on some vengeance.
Yeah. At which goes to another powerful scene between her and M'Baku again.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so they meet up. So the Wakandans are going to the mountains with the Jabari, and she lands in there in her new Black Panther suit, which actually looks kind of dope.
I liked it.
And he's telling her not to try and kill Namor. Right. Actually, he was trying to tell the elders that, and he was telling her that.
Yeah, because he said if you kill him, it was like the meaning of his name is, you know, he's a god.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've killed their god, so it'll never end.
It would never end because now they're going to come to wipe you out because you did this.
Yeah. And it's a fight you're not going to win.
Yeah. So that would be
and that's
just
what he was trying to tell him, like eternal world, the internal war that we're not going to win.
Yeah. So Wakandans and Atlanteans just always would be fighting.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't care. She is, again, on that vengeance. So she's going after him, trying to kill him. Now, they did figure out that he gets his power from water.
We
mentioned it. Yeah.
I won't do it this time.
But that
he does have to be damp, though.
Yeah.
But that line she said, though, it was like, oh, and you are going to help me do it.
Yeah.
He was like, okay.
Well, what is he going to do?
I'm not going to let you die by yourself. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so it leads to the third act, which was a little less Marvel-y than normal, but still kind of Marvel-y.
Yeah.
The more interesting fight was Shuri and Namor, which is what was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Actually, was pretty much uninterested in the Wakandans versus the Atlantean fight.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, we could have focused all on that. We didn't really need the other things. Oh, well, we forgot my second nitpick for this movie. So they did manage to get him into the heater box to dry him out.
Yeah.
You ain't check this boy for weapons? Why he still got his spear?
That's true. Well, did they have time to check for weapons?
Check for weapons.
He has what? It's not like they kidnapped him and threw him in there. Like,
right? Yeah, they took him in the middle of fighting.
Yo, when he's in the heater, check him. He got a little green shorts. How you not see this spear?
He does have on little green shorts.
Just come on.
Hey, you know, and Namor was true to his comic.
Yeah.
They were slightly longer.
Just the undies. Yeah, they were
slightly longer than what they are in the comics.
Yeah.
So
need a glass of water.
Savage, man. So we get the fight between her and Namor, which
right, because they did establish they was like, even though you weaken him, he is still stronger than everybody.
Well, yeah, it's gonna take time for to drain all his power. He's very strong.
Yeah, so it was just like, we gotta be quick.
Yeah,
because it's just like he's still gonna beat up everybody.
But the longer he's out of water,
you
know, the worse it is, which they show in the movie.
Yeah.
But yes, okay. Oh, I forgot. Okay, got a new suit, and she's like,
the Blue Angels or whatever. Are they real?
I'm guessing.
I don't know. I've been meaning to Google it and never did.
Oh, okay. Didn't care. Yeah. All right, fine.
Okay, so her and
I don't know.
Io?
Sure.
No.
The other, I was gonna say the bald-headed one. They're all bald.
Okay.
But they're all bald.
Yes.
I don't know.
No, it wasn't Io. Io's another one.
I don't know. The skinny one.
Yeah. Is she the one that was like, "Move or you'll be moved"?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they become the Midnight Angels.
Yeah.
Cool. yeah. Underwhelming. So okay, this fight between Shuri and Namor. Like, they get at it, man. Oh my god. Yeah. And like
they both are not holding
definitely
punches.
trying to kill him.
Yeah. She ripped his little wing off.
Yeah, she tore his foot wing off. Man, how's my man supposed to fly straight now?
I don't know. We're gonna be flying in circles now.
But no, man, like she was clawing into him and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, see, this is why you have armor on, Namor. Walking around with nothing on.
Yeah. But then, where do y'all think it was going when he put the spear through her? I was like, hey, do not do this, man.
I did not think she was going to die. If they did kill her, then what is next?
Yeah, I would have been like, hey, come on, y'all. Come on. When he, because it was like, it wasn't just like a normal like stab with the spear. It was just like, and then driving it in. I'm like, bruh.
It went through her.
I did not think she was gonna die, but I was just like, you're not about to win this fight though.
Yeah, I was like, lose.
I'm like, oh man, yeah.
Yeah, but he was still weakened because he still hadn't,
and they were in the desert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So smart move, at least he took him to the desert.
And I was just like, why didn't he like get in the water? But I was just like, that's how he is in the comic books.
He's so towards the water.
Yeah, no, but before then, he didn't try to get in the water to get stronger again. But I'm like, he's so headstrong.
Right.
Like no, I'm going to eliminate her. So he wasn't thinking.
Right.
Yeah. Because at first I was just like, bruh, all you got to do is just splash it up and you good. But he's so headstrong going like, okay, now I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. So, So she comes up off of that spear.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
I don't,
man.
Well, she's got the vibranium tech on, so I figured that
she got some damaged organs.
What are you talking about? It went through her.
It's some damaged organs.
Yeah.
It's Wakanda, man. You know how it is.
Man, get that.
Lung, stomach, kidney, something got pierced through, man.
Yeah. And she's fine now.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
she wouldn't have been fine getting off that spear either, though.
Yeah, not immediately after. No, she was still hurt, and
it would have been a draw. They both would have been passed out in the middle of that beach.
So she actually wins the fight, but kind of comes.
I thought that was so cool too. Like she tried to sneak up on him. And like he falling over, so she flips over him. I thought that was cool too, because it just shows like on how like amateur her fighting is like, and she's just driven on revenge.
Yeah.
So it was just like
she's not.
She ran after him full speed to attack him, and he stumbles over, and she ends up flipping over him. Yeah. But Daphne, where did you think it was going when he caught on fire?
I was like, when she caught him, right? One, didn't see that coming. And then I was just like, I know y'all did not just kill Namor.
You can't kill Namor.
I instantly thought of you when I seen that scene. I was like, she said it last episode. You cannot kill him. I was like, if they kill him, I was like, she's no longer liking this movie.
Oh no,
but he's stronger than that.
No.
So
I mean, so they didn't kill him, but I was just like, for real though, because it was.
I mean, he was crispy.
He was crispy.
His back was crispy.
And I was just like, for real? But then, immediately I was like, okay. So basically, Shuri's just like, yo, let's just end this. This is not cool. Neither one of us is winning today.
When she finally saw her mother.
Yeah.
Because in that scene with her mother in the beginning of the year after her brother died, her mother said, she felt her brother's presence, and she said, "No, it's just a
thing that gives you comfort."
Yeah. So it's like for her to actually see her mother, that's what she needed.
Yeah. So instead, they'll ally with each other.
Yes.
Which makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Namor's like, Wakanda's the strongest nation up there. We don't have to worry about the other people as long as we're their allies, which actually makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
and if we get in trouble, Wakanda will have to help us.
Yeah. And he said that Wakanda will get attacked by the other nations because of the things that have happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
and
might
will
be
have
Black
to come
Panther
to them.
3.
Yeah, I just like 5 years from now.
Yep.
Time for that. Don't have time for that.
So with that being said, Shuri was a great Black Panther.
Yeah.
Man, dope.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Yeah. And then how it ended, dude.
Oh yeah, so Nakia did have a son.
Not surprising.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say before
What,
the end
M'Baku challenging for the Black Panther?
No, where she
King.
finally did the ritual, ritual of burning the funeral, and it's like that's how the movie ended. It's just silence.
Yeah.
And then you hear the Rihanna song. Rise up. But yeah, it was just like, and when it ended that like that, it was silent in the theater because people was just like, okay, now we sad again.
yeah.
Because it was like because they brought it back because they started showing Chadwick as Black Panther again with the whole silence. Yeah. Then people clapped. Yeah. And now the end credit.
Yeah. Oh well.
But that was
T'Challa has a son.
Yeah.
No. He's right. The movie ended with her doing the ritual, and then the end credit was.
Oh right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was basically the same scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a extenuation of the same. Yeah. So you find out he has a son,
named T'Challa.
He's a junior.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And well, if it's that long for a Black Panther movie to come out, his son would be Black Panther.
He'll be like 10. What are you
he
talking
won't
about?
Be Black Panther.
He'd be Black
Shuri
Panther.
is still Black Panther.
Yes.
Unless she fights M'Baku for it.
No, again, it's separate from the kingship. That ceremony is not for Black Panther. It's for King.
But doesn't she have to fight him for the Black Panther?
No, she has Black Panther. She is Black Panther.
Yeah.
So what was he doing?
Fighting for the kingship.
So she didn't show up because she doesn't want to be queen.
Oh.
And he challenged because there's no one to do, so he becomes king.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, so he is the king of Wakanda, and she is the protector as the Black Panther. I wanted him to be
Black Panther.
He can't be Black Panther. He is the gorilla people.
Yeah.
So
and
they're not gonna make him manage
because the Black Panther is through their lineage. That's why she needed the DNA. Her brother's DNA. Like it can't. The Black Panther can't be passed on to another.
No, it can.
No, other people can be Black Panther.
Yes, other people can be Black Panther.
But Black Panther.
That's how Killmonger was able to do it.
Down.
I'm telling y'all, look it up. That's how Killmonger was able to do it because
I could have swore someone outside of that line.
No, they tried to give it to M'Baku in the last movie.
Yeah, someone else outside the family can be Black Panther.
Yeah, the heart-shaped herb will give anyone the powers.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they were going to give it to M'Baku in the first movie.
Yeah. In general, the king is also Black Panther, but it doesn't have. They are two separate. Things. So as long as she is still Black Panther, I don't think M'Baku will do it.
I was kind of looking forward to that.
But he wasn't going. I mean, it was like her counsel, so he wasn't going to do it.
Why not?
Because he would have to fight her.
Power stripped away. Come on.
Yeah, they would have to fight each other for it. He wasn't going to fight her.
No, that's unfair.
Yeah.
Because like she can't have the Black Panther fire powers while she fights. So
her brother barely beat him.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So he's king now.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah. So that's Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
I like the introduction to Namor. I actually would like to see a Namor movie.
Yeah. I would.
I don't know if I do.
No.
What is he gonna do?
I don't know, go be a jerk to somebody. That's his
I
general vibe.
I don't think he has a movie without someone else in it.
Oh yeah, it would definitely.
It would definitely have to be someone else.
Yeah. So
it's Namor. He's always fighting. Well, no, his general, the lead, the guy
with him and Atuma. That's Aquaman.
Yeah, it's Aquaman. Yeah, we don't want to do Aquaman again.
That's Aquaman.
That is, yeah.
I'm like, you already can see it coming, but I'm like, that's Aquaman.
Yeah.
So
well, I figure what their movie might be if you don't do it with someone else is some of the Atlanteans aren't happy with his surrender.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Atuma and Namora aren't happy about it. Yeah. I could see that a mile away. Yeah. My problem is that's just Aquaman.
It is. Mm-hmm. But they'll do it better. So
they will do it.
Who's directing it?
Ryan Coogler.
You said they'll do it better, but we just went through a whole phase of not good movies.
Depends on who's writing and directing. This movie definitely shows that. Oh, I did want to mention, there was sort of a theme in Phase 4. If we notice, a lot of the heroes had to deal with making that moral choice. Mm-hmm. It was the same thing in Spider-Man, and in
every hero
Shang-Chi was kind of the same thing.
Lost a family member in this phase.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's...
Yeah. But you said that with Spider-Man. Spider-Man didn't have to make a choice. He caused out himself.
No, I'm talking about... Okay, so he was seeking vengeance, though, for the death of his aunt.
Yeah, because Aunt May died.
I'm not saying who caused whatever happened. They still had to... He had to make a choice.
Oh, at that point, go ahead and kill them. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who's his father?
And Shang-Chi too, because he was determined to kill his father by the end of the movie. So I feel like that was kind of a theme in some of these movies.
No, I don't think that's what Marvel was going for. It's just a thing that happened to be.
It kind of happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not what they were going for.
Probably not. I was trying to find a thread.
There isn't one.
Okay. All right. Well. All right, so are we ranking the movie?
Sure.
Okay. Or did you have movie facts? No. Okay. Best movie ever.
I'll pay for that. Y'all crazy.
Pay for that? Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna go with I pay for that.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Right, guys. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, that's a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, 8 out of 10, or 8.5. It can be
8.5.
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying it was more than that, but okay.
No, I mean, it is. Don't get me wrong. It's a good movie, but I don't think it's better than the first one.
I don't think it's better than the first one.
And I didn't rank the first one as best movie ever.
Oh,
so,
you didn't?
No.
No, she didn't.
Oh, I definitely didn't because of by the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, that bad CGI at the end of the movie definitely doesn't help it. Yeah, I don't think it's better than the first one. It still wouldn't be in my top 5 Marvel movies. Top 10. Sure, not top 5.
I think it is in the top 10. I don't know. I have to.
Yeah, when we redo our rankings, but
or maybe we do it since it's the end of Phase 4.
We can talk about Phase 4 next week. We're not gonna re-rank everything next week, but
I know that I have some new.
We don't have to do the shows. Just do the movies.
Yeah, no, we don't have to do the shows.
We're only doing the movies.
Shows could be no.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the shows can be.
No, because how do we rank the shows against the movies?
Well, I don't wanna,
the shows would be a separate ranking.
I don't want to rank them next week. I just want to trash Phase 4. We don't need a ranking. I just want to say that this phase
my ranking
wasn't
definitely
good.
has some new bottoms.
Oh,
I feel like we definitely should have to rank it though.
No, I don't. Because then we gotta rank 30-something movies. I got time for that.
Well, because remember we have done the rewatch and we feel differently about some movies.
Because
I feel like our top movies
is horrible, and you kept overruling me.
I feel like the top movies.
No, you sit up there like I hate Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's not a good movie.
Which everyone universally likes.
Both of them are good movies.
The second one is not good.
Yes,
you guys,
the second one is great.
I can tolerate the first one, but the second one is a giant no. It's just
it was such a good movie.
No,
both movies were good.
It really isn't.
That movie.
It really isn't.
But yeah, we definitely have to re-rank.
We're just talking about. We're not ranking all these movies.
That's why you got over it, because that you're on some other stuff.
sense, you guys, that you came up with this trash list.
Likes,
yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm on some other stuff, and then you guys don't even like the list you came out with because you kept overruling me.
No.
I didn't say I didn't like the list.
I didn't say I didn't like the list either. I'm going to re-listen to that episode.
No, this time we all have separate lists. We don't need a 3D Rivals list. We can all.
We're not re-ranking these movies right now.
Right. It's the end of Phase 4.
We are not re-ranking all of these movies. Okay. I don't have time for that. I have other things
we'll rank
to do.
Phase 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, we'll talk about this offline. I'm in charge here.
She's not. But okay. Right. So
okay.
If you haven't seen Black Panther,
we can do a 3D or episode without.
If you have seen Black Panther,
okay,
let us know what you thought about the movie. Was it the greatest movie ever, or would you just pay for it, as everyone has? Because I'm pretty sure this movie is going to make $1 billion.
Probably. It's at 330 worldwide right now.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good first weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure word of mouth is going to be good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be some internet people, but there was on the first one.
True.
And there was on Captain Marvel, too, and that still made $1 billion.
Well, that movie didn't deserve $1 billion.
But it did. So, yeah. So, yeah, let us know what you thought about the movie. And if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button for more 3D Rivals content. And if this is in podcast for you, make sure you leave a rating and a review. And thank you so much for watching and listening. We will catch you next time.